Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm really excited for today's deep dive because we're going to be talking about dua.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the excerpt you sent me from The Beauty of Islam,
Mm-hmm.
it just really got me thinking, you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely.
So I'm ready to jump in.
Yeah, me
So
too.
maybe
Yeah.
we can just start by what is dua really? I think there's sometimes a misunderstanding that it's just like asking for stuff.
Right. And the source really emphasizes that right away. It's
Yeah.
so much more than just like presenting your wish list to Allah.
Yeah.
It's about like a direct connection,
Yeah.
a real intimate conversation with the divine.
Oh yeah, and you know what that reminds me of is that verse
Okay.
from the Quran,
Mm-hmm.
call upon me, I will respond to you.
Yes.
I always get chills when I hear that.
Yeah.
It's Surah Ghafir 40.60.
You got it. Right. That's the one.
And just the fact that Allah is always listening,
Yeah.
it's so powerful.
It really is. And it speaks to the accessibility of dua, too. Like, think about it. You don't need a specific place or time.
Right.
You don't even need perfect Arabic,
Yeah.
to connect with Allah.
Wow.
He understands the language of the heart.
Really, it's more about the intention then.
Yeah, the pure intention behind your words.
Okay, so even if I'm fumbling over my words or I don't even know what to say,
Absolutely.
Allah still gets it.
Allah knows.
Okay.
He knows.
Wow.
And you know what's cool is the source uses this story about the Prophet Muhammad to really illustrate this point.
Okay, which one?
The Battle of Badr.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the one where he spends the whole night praying?
Yes. Even though he had already devised this whole battle plan.
Right. You think with all that preparation.
You'd think he'd be good to go, right?
Yeah.
But even with all that.
He still recognized the importance of turning to Allah.
Right. And what happens?
Oh, yeah. What does happen?
Allah sends angels
Oh, wow.
to help the believers.
Okay. So even when we think we have things figured out.
There's this extra support that can come through dua.
Exactly. Especially in those challenging times.
Yeah. It's like that backup you didn't even know you needed.
I love that. And the source goes even deeper,
Okay.
It brings up this really profound saying from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Okay.
He said, dua is the essence of worship.
Essence of worship. What does that even mean?
Right. It's so deep.
Yeah.
It's acknowledging that when we make dua, we're acknowledging Allah's power,
Okay.
His mercy, and His ability to help us.
So it's more than just asking. It's
It's about recognizing
Yeah.
that we depend on something greater than ourselves.
wow. Okay, never thought about it like that.
Right. And that leads us to the next point that the source emphasizes.
Okay.
How Allah responds to our duas.
Oh, yeah. I remember reading about this. There are the three ways,
Right.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes it's a yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a not yet.
Right.
And sometimes it's something completely different.
You got it. Sometimes it's exactly what you asked for. Sometimes Allah delays it.
Oh, really? Why would he delay it?
Because He knows there's a better time.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe a greater wisdom.
That we can't see.
Exactly. And then
Okay.
sometimes He gives us something even better
Oh, wow.
in what we imagine.
So then how do we deal with, when it feels like our duas aren't being answered?
That's where trust comes in.
Yeah.
And understanding the source reminds us that Allah always has our best interests at heart,
Mm-hmm.
even if we don't get it.
It's hard to remember that sometimes, though,
I know it is.
especially in the moment
Yeah, it can be.
when you're going through something.
Totally. It's like we're looking through a keyhole,
Oh, I like that.
We can only see a tiny bit
Yeah.
of the whole picture,
Right.
but Allah sees everything,
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
right?
And, we've all had those experiences where something seemed like a total disappointment,
Mm-hmm.
but then later it turned out to be a blessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the moment, it's hard to see it that way.
So hard.
Yeah. It's like that saying, sometimes what you want isn't what you need,
Right.
but on a bigger scale.
Exactly. And speaking of needing things, that actually brings us to another interesting point the source talks about.
Okay, let me guess. Is it gratitude?
You got it.
I figured.
Dua isn't just about asking,
Right.
It's about thanking Allah for everything we already have.
Oh, so it's not just sending out requests all the time.
No, it's a two-way street.
Okay, I like that.
It's about expressing thanks for the blessings we have.
That's really beautiful.
And the source even suggests starting our duas with gratitude.
Oh, that's interesting.
Take a moment to think about all the things we take for granted.
Like what?
The air we breathe, the food we eat, our families and friends.
Oh, yeah. It's so easy to focus on what we don't have.
Is.
But when you think about all the stuff we do have,
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And you know what it reminds me of?
What?
It's like when you're looking for something, frantically searching,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you realize it was right there in front of you the whole time.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Maybe gratitude is like that.
Okay.
It helps us see the blessings that are already all around us.
I love that.
You're right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And you know, there's this concept in Islam that connects gratitude to receiving even more blessings.
Really?
Yeah, it's about having a mindset of abundance,
Okay.
not scarcity.
So like the more grateful we are.
Yes. The more open we are
Okay.
to receiving even more.
Wow. Okay, that's powerful stuff.
It is.
So we've talked about the power of dua, how accessible it is, the importance of gratitude, how Allah responds.
Right.
But like, how do we actually make this part of our everyday lives?
That's a great question, and the source offers some practical tips.
Okay, good, because I need some tips.
Like incorporating dua into your nightly routine.
Before bed.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right. It's a time to pause and reflect
Yeah.
and connect with Allah.
But doesn't that have to be like a long, complicated prayer?
Not at all. The source gives a simple example.
Okay.
You can say, Allah, guide me, forgive me, and help me become closer to you.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It is right.
Yeah.
And you know what's key?
What?
Consistency.
Oh, so like not just doing it when we remember.
Exactly. Make it a habit.
So it's like more of a constant connection.
Yes.
Not just for emergencies.
Right. It's like any relationship.
Yeah,
The more we communicate, the stronger it becomes.
that makes sense.
So by making dua a regular part of our lives,
Mm-hmm.
we're acknowledging that our relationship with Allah
Yeah.
is a priority.
It's not just like something we do when we need something.
All right. It should be a source of strength and solace.
Okay, I like that. So I like that word.
Me too.
Wow, we've covered so much about dua today.
Oh, right. It's a lot to take in.
It is, but it's like so interesting.
It is. It really makes you think.
So for you, like what's been the most like impactful part of this whole conversation?
You know, for me, it's that reminder that we're not alone in our struggles.
Yeah.
There's always that source of strength
Mhm.
and guidance that we can turn to.
It's like having this secret weapon that we forget about.
Right. It's always there.
And it's not just for the big things either.
No, not at all. It's for everything.
The ups, the downs, just like daily life stuff.
Exactly.
I'm also really resonating with that whole gratitude piece.
Me too.
It's so easy to focus on what we don't have.
Isn't it?
But when you shift your perspective to like be thankful for what you do have,
It changes everything.
it really does.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, does the source offer any like final thoughts?
It does. It ends with a beautiful dua
Okay.
and a really thought-provoking question.
Ooh, I like thought-provoking question.
It asks, how might a regular practice of dua shift your perspective and enhance your daily experiences?
Wow. That's deep. I have to think about that one.
It makes you think about the potential of dua,
Yeah.
not just as a quick fix, but as a continuous source of connection.
And growth. I love that. And the dua it offers is, "Oh Allah, you are the all-hearing and all-knowing. Accept our duas, guide us in our struggles, and grant us patience for your perfect timing. Strengthen our trust in you, and make us among those who never lose hope in your mercy." Amen.
I mean,
Beautiful, right?
yeah.
What a great way to end our deep dive into dua.
It is, and I think it's a great reminder for everyone listening
Yeah,
that the power of dua is always available to us.
always.
So let's not forget to use it.
Right, let's make it a part of our lives.
Yeah, and see how it can connect us to something greater than ourselves.
I love that.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. This was a really insightful conversation.
And to everyone listening, until next time, keep seeking, keep connecting, and may your duas be answered in the most beautiful ways.